Hey, I'm Evan.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to USS Sea Stories.
The broken and falling, damned old souls been sent to burn. Nowadays they've been calling, telling me soon gonna be my turn. Head down.
Welcome back to USS Sea Stories, episode 2 with Mike Dunn here. I'm Evan. That's Mike, and of course, Mike Dunn. So, Mike, one of the questions I've been meaning to ask you is what are your expectations from the Navy and specifically from the submarine force?
Yeah, great question. I would definitely have to say, like you mentioned in the prior episode, the stories that can be made while underway or while in port, like meeting different guys, making some new lifelong friends, guys you can count on for pretty much anything. That's definitely something I'm looking forward to, and making memories with those guys. On top of that. Um, So I would definitely have to say that. And I'd like to ask you a question, actually following off that. Um, after you've met all of those guys and you make those type of memories, how has that affected your life after the Navy? Like
That's
question there.
that's a good question, to be honest, man.
We're actually a prime example of that, man.
Yeah.
We didn't meet on the boat. We actually met in South Carolina, but we both shared the fin, whatever, right? So that's how we kind of built our bond after that. And I mean, look at us now.
Right. Yeah.
So
Of course. I mean, you're doing some great things here. You're sharing your experiences with the community, with the world, basically, and making new friends even after the Navy. Just because everybody served in the same branch and the same scenarios. Um, that's a really cool thing. It's something that whenever I was joining and was signing my contracts, things like that, that was definitely something I was looking forward to, and getting to get a little glimpse of it now it's almost like a dream come true, for lack of better terms.
Yeah, there's definitely, like, the Brotherhood is real, man. It's not one of those things that people say like, hey, let's form a Brotherhood kind of thing. The Brotherhood of the Fin, being submarine guy, submariner, that's a real thing. It's definitely a brotherhood, and a lot of people can't cut it. A lot of people don't want to do it. So it's very few people that join submarines, and it's even fewer people that make it in submarines.
yeah. It's like a fraternity,
Yeah.
You've heard people pledging, and then they go through whatever the hazing phase of pledging or all that other shit. Then once they finally end up being a pledge, then you got that brotherhood for life. That's kind of what having your dolphins is. Once you earn them, it's different, man. And everybody around you, like you said, not everybody can cut it. You can think you can be the most like gung ho person. Yes, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Y'all could be best friends and cool. Then you'll get it, and then you got some people resent you for getting yours before them or whatever like that, because you're qualified now. And then I'll say even with the legacy, you get lifelong friendships.
Yeah, man, that's a good point, dude. Like you'll grow up with people like through boot camp, A school, sub school kind of thing,
Oh, yeah.
and they'll be homies and shit. But until like you actually get your dolphins with someone, that's when like that's actually one of the dudes that's gonna look out for you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it might even not even be a person that you like. You don't have to like the person. But if they have their dolphins and you have the dolphins, they're going to look out for you, and you're going to look out for them. It's a given. It's going to happen. That's what a brotherhood is. It isn't a friendship. It's more than a friendship. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
What would you like to get out of the Navy or get out of submarines?
Yeah. So lots of things that can be said with a single statement is memories. Like y'all have mentioned, and like I've mentioned a little bit, the different memories made with people, the different memories made with just stories and shit. Something I may see that I'm not even involved in. I've heard that, you know, some boats have little books that they just write, you know, funny shit down that some new guy said.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to, you know, one day look back and be proud of what I did, but at the same time, not be sad about losing those scenarios. You know, I don't want to think, man, you know, I wish I was back there. I want to think, I'm glad I did that. Or, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I want to think, I'm glad I did that because it made me who I am today, and it made me who I will be tomorrow. You know,
Yeah.
That's something that I'll always strive to reach.
So it's fun. You mentioned like writing little books. Mike, you've actually told me about this qual card you guys made. You might have to censor it a little bit, but you know.
Yeah. So I wish I still had it. I'm pretty sure I got it somewhere, man. So me being a yeoman, no, we good with words. We're good with putting stuff together. That's all we do is, you know, type up shit all day, man. So I made this black qual card, right? And it was on like one of the deployments. Made this black qual card, just fucking being stupid, man. So I made it with, you know, a couple people on the boat. It was like, you know, practical factors, whatever. It was like how to make Kool-Aid, or how to two-step, shit like that, right?
Right, the stereotypical shit.
Yeah, the stereotypical shit. So, you know, people were actually qualifying it and, you know, whatever. And that was probably like the stupidest shit ever, but it was one of those memories that if I ever ran across those certain people, like, hey, man, remember that time I qualified black? Like, yeah, like, you know, you have those memories like that.
That's some good shit. You've mentioned that, you know, some people just couldn't hack it, you know, they just couldn't make it. Have you ever met somebody that, you know, they were genuinely a good guy, they were, you know, real cool, and you befriended them, but they were one of those people that just couldn't make it? Have you met somebody where, you know, it's almost just like a sad scenario where you're like, man, I really wish this would have worked out, and I still want to be, you know, friends with you after this. I still want to keep in contact with you. Have you met people like that?
Yeah, man.
People like that?
All the time, dude. Like, I'm actually friends with certain people, like exactly how you said, on Facebook and shit like that, that were on submarines that dropped out, you know. You know, there it's not saying just because they couldn't cut it on submarines doesn't mean they're not good people, you know.
Right.
They are good people, most of them anyways. Some of them are shitbags and they don't deserve to, you know, be around anybody, but and for the most part, those people that dropped out, they're good people, you know.
Yeah.
They just didn't belong on submarines, and that's understandable. Yeah. I do have some of them on Facebook, and I still talk to them to this day. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I still got some friends that, like you said, I still talk to, I still kick it with. Now, there are some scenarios where there's people that can't cut it, and they'll find the easy way out to get out. And one of the most easiest ways to get out is to claim mental health, whatever.
Yeah.
But you can tell when those people, like, you can tell who's good, who's bad. And you can have some guys that's like straight shitbags that show up late, that's always getting chewed out, that's fucking up things. So they'll just go to the chaplain, they go somewhere and say, hey, I'm gonna kill myself. I don't want to do this anymore, and they'll get out. Now, some people like that, I just can't respect. It's like there's some people that actually get out submarines with real issues, man, family issues or something, like they got too much going on at home, trying to focus on qualifying, trying to do this, so you know their psyche isn't where it should be. So then you got those dudes that abuse the system to get out, and most of them get it when they get their dolphins, so they can still say, oh yeah, I served on submarines. They don't get out the Navy, but they get out the submarine force and still hold on to their dolphins. Like, oh yeah, I qualified subs, blah 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 blah. Like, no, take that shit off, because you pretty much at this point don't deserve it, man.
Yeah, man, it's usually those people in particular, the ones that got their dolphins and then tapped out like immediately. I have less respect for them than I do for the people that tapped out before they got the dolphins, because now those people are wearing the fin, and you know, normally they already had their mindset onto tapping out from the beginning. They just wanted to show that they, you know, they could prove something or whatever the fucking case may be, you know. Yeah. And you know, but now they're wearing the warfare pin, and they're probably telling all kinds of fucking other people on the surface or whatever, like, yeah, I got my fins, and then they're probably talking all kinds of shit about submariners and stuff that, you know, isn't true just because they couldn't cut the Brotherhood, you know.
Yeah, and you're gonna have tough days, man. You're gonna have days where you don't sleep. You're gonna be working odd hours out the night, especially in port. You're gonna be having some real rough time during your qualification. Now, I'm not saying you're gonna fucking hate life. That's not what it's gonna be. But you're gonna have a lot of bad days, but those good days gonna outweigh a lot of those things. But the thing is, man, you gotta keep your mind focused and stay positive and stay around the right people. Stay away from those naysayers, those negative people, because all they're gonna do is bring you down with them. And then the funny thing is, I've talked about this before, those negative people that you gravitate towards, they will influence you into wanting to get out. Yeah, I'm just gonna do my time. Fuck the Navy, fuck the military. This is stupid. This. And you get out, they're gonna stay in and they're gonna progress in their career. So now you're like, fuck, I don't listen to these dumbasses.
Yeah.
These Chiefs are Master Chiefs now, and I'm over here fucking working at a car dealership or fucking bank loan or some shit. This shit, like it's gonna be, and you're gonna be looking at yourself like, I should have never followed those people.
Yeah. Just to clarify, there is a difference between being hard and being, toxic, right?
Yeah.
Right.
People need to be hard on submarines. They need to treat you like shit, but with a certain modicum of respect. It's a given. You need to be treated like shit when you're a nub. I'm sorry. You're going to be a nub. And when you're a nub, you're going to be treated like shit. It has to happen, right? We've all been through it. Every single one of us has been through it. It hardens you. It teaches you how to be a fucking man, that needs to happen. But being a toxic person is something completely different. You will really like single those people out. You'll know who's being hard but fair and who is being a toxic person. You'll see that.
So you've been in for about a year now, right?
About a year, yeah.
About a year. So you've gotten to meet different petty officers and chiefs and senior chiefs, or whatever like that, through your time. Is there any type of like expectation for leadership that you would like to see, or if there are some things that you have seen which like, oh, I don't want to be around any of that. You don't have to say no names or anything like that, but just type of characteristics or anything that you look forward to being around, and then once you'll be like, not too sure about.
Yeah. So I recently got word that my boat specifically got a new what's the word, trio, the COX called
Top three. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they recently got a new bunch. I say recently, probably about a year ago.
That's pretty recent.
And
yeah.
So obviously they're newer to a commanding scenario. So there's some expectations that obviously they're not going to be like some of the crew might think, okay, well, they're not what we've had for the past 5 years, so I'm not going to respect them. I think I don't need somebody like, especially the captain or the XO. I don't need them to come to my party on Friday night for me to feel like I'm welcome on the boat. Personally, as long as they have a hard work ethic and they're getting the job done, they're not being assholes about it. I could give a damn what you do, out of uniform. That's none of my business. Neither is it really your business what I do. So I'm not looking forward to meeting someone that's constantly trying to be in my face. However, having a nice guy, somebody that understands, okay, he's new. It's going to be hard on him. How can I make it better for him? How can I help him succeed? While still giving him the same treatment as a new guy should. That's what I'm looking forward to, and trying to find people like that, whether it be on a ride along with a completely different top three that I'm never gonna see again. I don't know.
I can promise you this: you'll never have your XO, CO, or Cobb at any of your parties. First and foremost.
Yeah, there's a reference.
Yeah.
If you do, call me so I can be there.
Yeah, I want to see that shit. No, but seriously, yeah, for the most part, your Cobb is probably going to be the hardest one on you out of the three, only because he's an enlisted guy. But he's going to be fair for the most part. For Mike and I, XO is probably the hardest one on us. only because we worked directly under him. The CEO is supposed to be the nice guy on the submarine. He's supposed to be. He's supposed to be the nice guy. He's supposed to have all the love and stuff, and the XO is supposed to have the hate, and so is the cop.
Yeah.
You know, they are kind of like the top cheaters on the submarine. You know, they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You don't always get the best of the best, but you know, it is what it is. You know, that I don't know.
Yeah, you'll get lucky. I mean, I got lucky as hell when I was on my last like maybe year and a half on the boat. My CO was a down to earth dude. He loved family. He loved the family aspect. So he tried his best not to be out at sea much, and he tried to do a whole lot of family events. My XO was coolest motherfucker in the world. He'll come into the office with you, bullshit. As you know, as a motherfucking he's 03 at the time, and he made 04 towards his end, but. Man, the coolest dude, coolest cat ever. Sit there talking about workout videos, Beyonce booty, all this shit, you know. Like with you, whatever. But then our Cobb was from Texas. He was actually from San Antonio. Coolest motherfucker ever. Always brought down fucking Big Red, barbecue, all this shit, whatever, when he got a chance to, especially all the people from Texas. He made sure he hooked everybody up from Texas, man. So you'll get lucky. Yeah. You might get lucky in your career, find a good top three. One of the biggest downfalls is like your department heads or your chief or whatever. Those are the ones that you want to make sure you kind of want to be on their good side, because you don't interact with the Cobb as much. You know, you don't interact with the XO and CO as much. Your department head and your chief is going to be the ones that can really make or break you, especially your chief or your first class, man. Them the ones that, I hate to say rub shoulders or rub elbows, whatever, but they can, depending on your personality, depending on how the rest of the crew like you and shit like that, you know, you make a name for yourself. But for them two, you could be the best motherfucker on the boat, but if they don't like you, you know, you could have a good or bad career. But as long as you stay cool, like I said, stay focused, stay in your good mindset, you don't have to worry about too much.
That's a good example, man. Like for Mike and I, we actually were pretty close to the XOCO Cobb, only because we were yeomen, you know. But I think you said you're a Nav ET, is what you said, right? So you're going to be close to the Nav, the ANAV, shit like that. So those are the guys that are really going to make or break your experience on there as far as leadership. So, yeah, it can really depend on those guys, if they're good leaders or not. Yeah. If you're going to have like a good career or a good experience on, your first couple tours or whatever like that, which can actually really change a sailor, to be honest. You know, if your leadership is fucked up to begin with, you know, with Mike and I know ours kind of was. Luckily, we gravitated towards other people that were good leaders. So hopefully, you know, when you get on your first submarine, your leadership's going to be on point.
I'm gonna tell you. I think Evan, you probably had this talk before, but how long do you actually plan? Well, I know it's kind of early to say, but do you plan on making it a career? Is it something that you want to take, like, you know, contract by contract?
I will definitely take it contract by contract. No, I'll most likely try out a shore duty. If I don't, I'm going straight to college. If I do take the shore duty and I like it, then I'll definitely make it a career. So it's kind of depending on how this contract goes, and if this goes well, then I'll extend, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I would at least say take a second tour on shore duty, right? Do your sea duty and then go to shore duty. When I was in last part of my sea duty, I was ready to get out. I was like, fuck it. You know, I'll go out, fucking go to college, go party with my old high school buddies, you know, bullshit and stuff. I had a good time in the Navy. And my chief at the time, he's like, dude, chill, you know, at least experience shore duty. Or I was like, fuck, you know, I don't want to stay in the Navy. You know, it ain't for me, right? You know, I had a good time. I love submarines. I love the people I met, but I don't want to do 20 years. He's like, no, chill. Just do another fucking, you know, you can pick however many years you want. That's another thing. You don't have to do 4 years as a second enlistment. You can pick your time. Believe me, you can pick whatever, how many years. Because I did 3 years, right?
I think the minimum is 2 years, right?
I think the minimum is 2 years. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's cake. I mean, you'll rush through 2 years like nothing. You know, I did 3 years for my second tour. I was like, I don't want to do 4 years, whatever. I also didn't do submarine service, so that's another thing.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I was like, he wore me down. My chief wore me down. I was like, fuck it. You know what? I'll do it. You know, I'll stay another 3 years in the Navy. I'll go to shore duty. You know, I'll fucking experience what that's like. And thank God he convinced me, bro, because man, shore duty is legit, dude. Like, you know, you have so much besides the fun, you know, you have a lot of fucking fun because you never go out to sea, which we're all sailors. We like to go out to sea, but at the same time, we like shore duty too, you know?
Yeah.
You know, you get to meet some great people. You get to have some great relationships with those people. You have parties like every fucking weekend. Someone's throwing a party somewhere, you know? And it's a blast, dude. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff you could take advantage of on shore duty. You know, like you can go to school. You obviously have your GI Bill, but if you're still in the Navy, you can use TA. And your TA, I think, is up to 100%. I don't know. I know, like, we had that one guy, our YN1.
Oh, yeah.
That, you know, he got his master's degree based off of TA.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he ever touched his GI Bill. So
he got 2 degrees and a master's degree.
Yeah. So,
TA.
You know, there's some shit you could take advantage of, man. So I would at least say for all like new people like yourself, at least give shore duty a chance.
And I know a couple Navy T's that's on shore duty right now, and some of them got put some real decent spots. Y'all don't do shit, man. I know Navy T's that's in trainers, and they do the fucking whatever trainers that Navy T's do or schoolers, whatever like that. Yeah. And motherfuckers be out by like 12, 1 o'clock. Come in at 8, be gone by 1, and have the rest of the day, and still not working on weekends. I'm like, man, fuck y'all, man.
So I got one quick question for both of you. What rank are you most proud to have earned, and why is that? Like, sure, you may have gotten first class, but was it harder to earn second class, or and why would that be? What made it so memorable?
Well, I never made first. I was a second class throughout my career, and that was actually the most proud I've been was second class. So for yeoman, obviously E1 through E3, that's a guarantee. All right, You're gonna learn that too, probably as a nav. You're gonna make E1 through E3. This is it, you're gonna get it. It's just a process of how long you've been in. E4 for yeoman, back in our day, was pretty much 100%. You know, you got it. Once you hit E5, that's when you really kind of had to work for it. The percentages weren't 100%. You know, I don't know how high it was or how low it was, but I know it wasn't 100% of people making it. So when I made it, I actually was in transition from going from Washington to my shore duty to South Carolina. So I think it was like 3 or 4 months after I've been on shore duty, I got the message like, hey, you made E5, you know, and it was an awesome feeling, bro. It was almost like middle management kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like fuck, I made it, you know what I'm saying? It was a good feeling. I never actually did take the E6 test. I never stayed in long enough to qualify for it. So.
Yeah, E5. I say E5 was my gratifying rank. I loved it, man, because the guy we had on, Buddy Spencer, he had the philosophy of where you got to push yourself. You know, nobody's gonna push you. You got to do it for yourself. If you want to make a career out of this, you got to be, head charger. So I was at the point where I wanted to make a career. I studied. I actually printed out the fucking bibs and everything like that. I studied for a whole solid year. I was like, I'm about to make this fucking exam, man. And we was actually on deployment. We had pulled in the Saipan. And I remember I was walking through the hotel lobby, and one of the chiefs that was there was like, "Hey Jones, you made it." I was like, "Made what?" Second of what? Second class, motherfucker. Like you made it. So I was like, "Oh shit!" Like first time up, I was like, "God damn, man!" I was happy as fuck, man. And it's like, damn, like all that hard work and stuff put me up there. So man, I just felt good because I felt like I actually pushed myself to make it, and the fact that I made it, I was just happy.
That's one thing I kind of want to get into for the next episode, because we're about to end this soon, is money. So kind of getting into the rank system and stuff like that, especially shore duty, you will make quite a bit of money, especially for a young guy, you know.
Stupid.
The thing of it is I wasn't, I was kind of smart with my money, but I wasn't, fully in depth with what I should be doing with my money. Mike, I know you're the same way.
Yeah.
You make a lot and you spend a lot, when you should be saving more of it, which is kind of what I want to get into on the next episode here. So, Mike Dunn, it's been great having you both. See you both on the third episode, I think it is. Yeah. Whew, yeah. Shit. All right. Let's get it, guys.
Let's get it.
All right.
The devil's gonna come when the sun goes down.